Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Operation Heal 100 Hearts channel, where we focus on healing, humor, and hot topics. Today, y'all know we got to get into some things, and we have to talk about the Real Housewives of Potomac reunion. So I missed it last night because I was with some family, right? But I came out behind home last night, fell asleep, and I jumped up early this morning so I could turn on Peacock and watch the uncensored version. And I took some of the notes, and I got some of the words for these heifers on Real Housewives of Potomac. So hold on, let me clean my glasses off. There's a lot going on around my little recording space. But okay, yeah, let me get to it. Because I got to let y'all know what happened on the reunion, give my little take, and we're going to get on from there. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So if you do not watch this show, I mean, you'll probably have to start next season. It comes on Bravo. It's called The Real Housewives of Potomac, and they are up to their season 8 reunion. All right, ladies and gentlemen, tune in and let's get to it. It started off, Giselle came out first. Now, Giselle looked mortified because she asked Andy, who's sitting here, and he was like, Karen. So, and she was talking about, I think, the first chair. No, I think he told her, you sit there in the second chair. She said, who's sitting here? And he said, Karen. He was like, you guys be sitting next to each other. How great. For the first time, she was looking at Andy like, Andy, why don't I have my first chair? Right, so you could tell by the look on her face, Giselle was mortified. And I'm not going to lie, I got a little giggle and a chuckle out of that. But I throughout this reunion, I didn't hate Giselle as much. So let's keep talking. So everybody started coming out one by one. Candiace came out after Giselle. Candiace, once again, you know, with the immature antics, once she saw Giselle was the only one out there, why was I being rushed out and nobody's out here? And you know how she do the show. I cannot stand this bitch, so on and so forth. And once again, like I told you guys in my last video when I discussed Giselle paid Candiace dust. That's what she does. She's very emotionless, and she pays the people dust. That's why the people is always kissing her ass, because they be looking for some form of emotion from her, and she don't give that. All right, so I don't really go into the fashions like everybody else does who does their reunion reviews, because for me, as I said, I'm not a fashionista enough for me to be able to say who is right or wrong about what they wore, how they wore it, so on and so forth. But for watching these women evolve throughout these seasons, I can tell you a few things that was a little kooky for me, like Karen's haircut. For me, Karen is 60 years old and she can still give you 45. She's very young looking, very vivacious. She has a gorgeous body. So that haircut, in my opinion, made her look very old and witch-like. Again, it was a very snazzy haircut. It looked good. It kind of reminded me of the cut that Beyonce did a couple of years back in 2013 when she came out with the Beyonce visual album. I remember she had a cut like that in one of her pictures for some spreads she did. And it is a nice cut. It's just, in my opinion, my glasses are still dirty. It's just, in my opinion, it didn't fit Karen because it made Aunt Karen look old. And I didn't like that. I like her looking young and vivacious and yada, 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 right? In my opinion, Giselle didn't look that bad. I know everybody be clocking her tea about her fashions for the reunion. Again, she's pretty, so she plays it, however she feels, or most of the time safe, because she does. She is a very pretty woman, but you could tell she's getting older, neck getting a little wrinkled. But, she looked all right to me. Nothing to write home about. Wendy's hair was atrocious. Wendy's hair was atrocious, and I did not want to see that. Wendy looked like she took a wet and wavy cap from Utica on Eastern Parkway out the beauty supply store over there. She said, let me get the special, I won't say that. In any event, I just was not featuring Wendy hair. I was not featuring Wendy hair. It didn't compliment her face. I didn't like Wendy's hair. That didn't look good to me. And then Mia, Mia looked like she cuts and pastes a different face on every day. In my opinion, it looks like Mia cuts and pastes on a face every single day. Mia looked like she had just did Botox 45 seconds before she whooped on the set. Everything was swollen and protruded. Mia gives me every second she's trying to push herself into a feminine look, and it's not working because she gives me very manly. But in any event, so it gets started. So Andy, let me take a little sip. Andy was like, listen here, ladies. I'm going to set the intention for the night because as a viewer, I was mortified to see y'all not getting along. It was very hard to watch, which I agree with Andy. People not engaging one another, so on and so forth. Do I understand why they're not 200%, which we'll get into? But I just feel like, again, at the end of the day, in order for people like me who watch reality TV, we do to some degree want to see the drama of what's going on in this friend group, and we can't really see it unfold or be hashed out if you guys are not even speaking. So basically he was saying he's setting the intention for, you know, folks to kind of get back on the same page and so on and so forth, right? I was thinking in my mind, Andy would have with that intention setting from throughout the season, but who cares, right? So basically everybody was pretty much like, okay, I'll give it a shot. And the Green Eyed Bandit was high. We'll see what we could do, basically, all right? So, what they did bring up first was how Andy was like, you know, the one thing I noticed about this friend group is whether y'all not getting along or not, when they come down to those conversations about sex, you guys can all get on the same page. So they start running the package of when they talked about sex and how they asked Cameron how many lovers she had, and she said that's when dreams count. And then ROBYN tried to, you know, throw some shade and say something pertaining to, so you couldn't remember how many lovers you had or something like that. And at first Cameron was like, no, I just wanted to know if the ones in my dreams count. And she was like, she tried to say it again, and Cameron was like, no, baby, that would be one. ROBYN. Anyway, then they dive into the ROBYN and the Candiace package, right? So first they dive into the ROBYN package, right? And ROBYN just was continuing to embarrass herself. So first of all, they start going into, you know, where's Juan? Why is Juan not here supporting you? Do you still believe his story? Did it make sense to you? Did it add up? Yada, yada, yada. One of the things that ROBYN said that irritated me, which again can further make her look stupid, which is what at this point I think she was trying to look when it comes to this whole Juan situation, was that they asked, you know, Andy asked, he was like, well, since you know he's laid out everything, you've seen everything on TV, you guys talk, you've seen this, you've seen that, do you believe since you guys have been remarried that he's no longer doing him, right? You know what ROBYN said? Well, I don't think I can say for certain what anyone's doing, but I just... The one thing I feel about being in love is that, you know, me personally, right? This may not be anybody else, me personally, right? I'm not really a person who just has an onset of trust issues, right? Something has to happen for me to question you. Now, do I know that folks can be very sneaky and malicious, and they can be, you know, a lot of things can take place behind your back and so on and so forth, right? Which can force folks to be like, listen, I question everything, because you just never know what people will do. My only thing is, if you have to feel that way about the man that you fell in love with, and that was the reason why y'all initially got divorced, ROBYN, if you still have that feeling, why the fuck did you remarry Juan? So when she said that dumbass shit, because you know what I'm inclined to believe? I'm inclined to believe that now ROBYN is trying to take on a role of making herself look like the ditzy, dumb person that's just so smitten and trying to have her family, that it would make folks have sympathy for her. Like, y'all leave ROBYN alone, you know. That's why she does all the, I don't care, and you can crucify me, and ROBYN, shut the fuck up, shut up. And by you standing up there saying you still don't trust your motherfucking husband in front of the world, but also saying you're in love with him, y'all got all these years together, y'all making it do what it do, and that's why y'all quote-unquote remarried, was the dumbest shit I ever heard. You should have lied and said you trust him, you believe him, and them hoes was lying. So that irritated me when she said that bullshit. She looked even more stupid. Then they start saying to her, which made a lot of sense, like, you know, a lot of your storyline pertains to Juan and his antics. So why, I know all the other times he ducked and dodged and got out of showing up to the reunion, why this time wouldn't he make it his business to show up here? Especially because, number one, this your motherfucking job. Number two, you keep me your job because he's a lot of your storyline. And number three, he don't got no motherfucking job. So I was looking at ROBYN like, ROBYN, please shut up, because you get on my motherfucking nerves, okay? You really get on my nerves. ROBYN gets on my nerves. I'm so happy that she has decided to exit stage left. So, the girls started gathering ROBYN. Wendy started gathering her. Karen started gathering her. She just had the stupid face. That was it. I didn't really care about that. Then Andy ran it, because remember this part was about Candiace and ROBYN, so Andy ran it back, the whole situation between Candiace and ROBYN, and he said one of the viewers had asked, you know, them little cards that ROBYN would be making up and acting like people sent these questions in, yeah, them cards. He said that a viewer asked Candiace, didn't you say back in season 3 that you, even though you're on a reality show, you and Chris have the option and the choice to share whatever y'all see fit. So why are you getting so upset with ROBYN? Because that was your claim to fame about what your issue was that she didn't share what she should have shared on the show that we're on, right? So when they ran that back, then Andy read another. Oh no, I'm sorry. The same question on that card is allegedly from a blogger who ROBYN is friends with. So this is the part that irritated me. Girl, let me take a sec. So now, when Candiace, when he read the question, Candiace answered it, and then what Candiace said was, I don't want to answer that because I don't want to answer any questions from her friends. So everybody's like, what are you talking about? So she pulled out these poster boards from behind her, and I think they were either poster board, it was poster boards of like DMs or text messages. I couldn't see which one. And basically it showed ROBYN having some dialogue with that person about Giselle and saying that she was upset about what Giselle did and she was going to tell it all or some shit like that. Basically, Candiace was trying to build a case that ROBYN was a two-faced bitch and that Giselle should be upset with her. What I don't think people understand, and I have this so I know how this goes. When you are incredibly close with a person, y'all share y'all issues amongst one another. That's not for the world to see. Now, it does not matter how many other people on the outside world know about you guys' issues. You guys have to make a vow to keep it between you and that person. And that's pretty much what ROBYN and Giselle did, because what they was trying to say was, oh, Giselle, you see what your homegirl did? You ain't mad? And Giselle was like, I'm not mad. Seems like Candiace is mad. And it's supposed to be about me, so she thinks I should be mad, but I'm not mad with ROBYN. Me and ROBYN spoke, and ROBYN was like, I spoke to Giselle. So they just kind of made you look stupid with that whole pulling the poster boards out. You didn't land that plane, right? Because you wanted them to beef, and I think that is your bigger issue. I think your problem with ROBYN is not so much you feel like she tried to set up along, she teamed up with Giselle to serve your husband. No, I think you feel like she know that Giselle is wrong for what she's doing to your husband, and you want her to be more of a friend to you than she is to Giselle, or be quote unquote fair and go against Giselle. And as you can see, they're never doing that. So you pulling out the poster boards made you look stupid, in my opinion. It made no sense for you to be defending Giselle when the whole time you're saying you hate her. If her homegirl want to talk about her, she wouldn't allow that, and they want to discuss that amongst each other, resolve their issues, and still be friends. What the fuck that got to do with you, Candiace? So that part to me was like, girl, put that bullshit away. Any old way. Andy asks, what is it going to take for ROBYN and Candiace to move forward? And, oh my God. Now this part right here, this part right here, yeah, I'm a Green Eyed Bandit. I'm a Green Eyed Bandit. I'm a Green Eyed Bandit. Because this right here was it for me. This right here was it for me. Why? Soon as Andy asked that, Candiace was like, see, I don't even have tissue. And they started passing her tissue, and she made a triangle. Giselle fell the fuck out. Giselle was like, and here comes the tears. And Giselle just taunted her in that moment so bad. She was like, she's a bitch. Fuck you. Fuck you. She was mad at Giselle, tore her up right there and was cracking up. And I'm not going to lie. A part of me, I mean, really and truly, I wouldn't have taunted Candiace in that seat, in that moment. But in my mind, I would have been doing exactly what the fuck Giselle was doing. I just would have kept it in my mind. I would have been like, are you fucking serious right now? Are you serious with these tears? And the one thing that I like that ROBYN said, even though I can't stand ROBYN, but I feel exactly the same way I was saying that. I was saying this with ROBYN verbatim when she was saying it throughout the season and even before she said it. If you're saying that you feel like I was in cahoots, and I'm telling you I wasn't, but again, you're entitled to feel how you want. If you do feel that way, why do you want to be my friend? Don't be friends with me. But it's not the issue, like I just said a couple minutes ago. It's not the issue of you feeling that way. What you want me to do is go against Giselle and be on your side. And once again, like I told y'all, Candiace is a spoil you fucking brat. Because you should cut both them bitches off and not be bothered with even one of them. Because the fact that you know your motherfucking homegirl is wrong and you fucked with me a little bit and then you gonna try to act like she right and stand 10 toes down for her. Bitch, I'm done with you too. So ROBYN would have never been telling me to be done with her. I would have been done with her. Candiace, girl, anyway, so the crying boo came out, and like I said, Giselle took that opportunity to be a Green Eyed Bandit, and I was here for it. I was here for the Green Eyed Bandit antics in that moment. Sorry, I was. So, next up, they said that... I know some of y'all like Ashley, but me personally, I like Ashley. You know why I like Ashley? Because I feel like she can spar. I feel like she's a troublemaker, instigator, sneaky, and all those things, but she also ain't sitting around crying about it when she get called on shit. She's going toe-to-toe. She can spar, which, in my opinion, that's what Candiace does, sit around and cry when she get called on her shit. So I like Ashley. So I was cracking up, but they was like, oh, yeah, Juan not here. But, Andy was being shady the whole fucking reunion. It's like, so what does Juan do now? So she was like, oh, Juan is the coach at my son's school, and he's now coaching high school. And Andy and Ashley was looking at ROBYN like, Juan broke ass. And I was cracking up, because this said it all in Ashley's face. Then she tried to like change it up, like, oh yeah, so he could be closer to your son. Great. But in her mind, she was saying, this nigga broke, and y'all telling me to leave my $1 million nigga, man, fuck y'all. But go ahead with the story. Go ahead with your package. So that was cute. So then, well, I'm going to say this right, though, because they asked ROBYN some questions after that about her relationship and, you know, what she would like the world to know moving forward since all this BS came out. And one of the things that ROBYN said that I like, wait, too much is going on here. Sorry. One of the things that ROBYN said that I do like, but I kind of feel sorry for her for even saying this, is she was basically saying, like, when you in a relationship, as long as her and Juan has been 28 years and y'all both want the same things and y'all best friends and, you know, y'all want to hold each other down, what it showed me was that she has an immense amount of respect for Juan, which I respect. But what breaks my heart is her not realizing that he does not have that same respect for her. And that's why y'all going through the stuff that y'all going through. And that's why you're sitting at reunions alone, taking all of these water balloons while he's just off doing what he do. That's why he's on the phone saying things like, I don't care, ROBYN, and all of these other things, because he has no respect for you. And you're holding him in such high regard, my dear. That's a dub. That's a motherfucking dub. Okay? I'm here to tell you that's a dub. What Lauryn Hill said, respect is just a minimum. Let me tell you what Miss Penny would say, respect is do a dog. So if nothing else, he should be there having your back. And that's what Wendy was saying. That's what husbands do. But I told y'all, I don't think Juan and ROBYN remarried until I see the paperwork. I don't believe it. And I don't care, ROBYN. Now, moving along, right? Boom. Now, they pulled up my aunt package. Let me tell y'all something. I love the Grand Dame. Love, love, love the Grand Dame. I don't care what y'all say. I love the Grand Dame. That's my girl. I love the Grand Dame, right? So they talked about how snatched she looked. They talked about her turning 60. They talked about her buying her home in Surrey County. And they talked about the event she threw surrounding sexual assault, right? And you know how it just once again brought the ladies together and so on and so forth. Then they brought up Giselle receiving death threats. And they tried to put that on Candiace, which this part I didn't agree with, right? So basically, they were saying that, you know, Giselle, because folks feel that she's colorist, that they have now been sending her and her children death threats. And that's to the fault of Candiace. And the same way how I hold Candiace feet to the fire about doing things to people and the repercussions of it, how she always cries about them, Giselle, I have to hold your same motherfucking big ham hock feet to that fire as well. Okay? Listen, what did you do for Candiace to start saying those things about you? What did you do? Because whatever you did to Candiace, which was lying her husband, that was her response to what you did, and now this is a backlash to what you started, my dear. So you can't stand up here and say you're upset because you start running down, oh, Giselle a bitch, Giselle a hoe, Giselle deserves to be fired. Saying all this to Candiace was like, all true. That I said. I agree. You know, so I love that for Candiace because she is not standing down to Giselle. So I loved it, right? But what I can say is, Giselle, don't act like people are feeling like you're colorist because Candiace said it out the clear blue sky. No, they're feeling like that because Candiace said that, because that's the way Candiace feel, because after you lied on her motherfucking husband, right? So you started this, and this is just the backlash of the bullshit you started owning, right? So okay, so they talked about that, boom, 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 and they was like, okay, so they was like, you know, Giselle, what is it going to take for you to move forward? Because Andy was like, you know, I just want to kind of put a bow on this. So what was it going to take for both of you to move forward? So Giselle was like, well, I was under the impression at the last reunion when I apologized to him for saying he was a sneaky link that we would be able to be past this. He accepted my apology and let's move on. But when I'm continuously watching her online, liking tweets and being evil to me, I even called you guys to say something about it, talk about production, because I'm tired of it. Since then, I haven't said nothing to Candiace or about Candiace. So what the fuck is the issue? Especially if at last reunion, your husband said he accepted my apology. So Candiace's argument was that you accused him of sexual assault. But I think the only issue there that Candiace, it was the wording. It was the wording. Because I totally understood what Candiace was saying. Is that you put the implication out there that you tried to imply that there was some level of essay. And that is the truth. You did it. By saying things like he made me go in a room, which would suggest he forced you to do something. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty much what you hear about Trey Songz and them. Well, I don't know about now because Trey Songz shit then got escalated. But initially, when things first started and we was hearing about people doing things to people like with the Me Too movement, it would more so be like, you just made me uncomfortable. And for me, I don't particularly like having these conversations because I do feel like a lot of that is really nuanced. And it bothers me when there are not facts, right? So case in point, Giselle, that was not a fact. He did not make you go into a room. So by you saying that, now one could interpret it any way and could look at him any way because of what you said. And what you said was not a fact. It's what you felt. Feelings are not facts. And I cannot get people to understand that. And really and truly, I'm going to be honest with y'all, I'm tired of trying. Feelings are not facts. I'm going to tell you what I think Giselle's issue is. I'm sorry, this is just my belief. I believe that what's the husband? I believe that Jamal has went into a number of rooms with a number of women when he had a wife. Right? And in those rooms, he did things inappropriate, like make babies on the side and cheat on you down to the ground. And I think because of that, Giselle, you are traumatized. So I think in your mind, people was going to look at you away about doing that because you look at all the women that did that with your husband away, right? But I also think the other part of that was you're evil and you was trying to stir up some shit on this man because A, you didn't want your homegirl man storyline to come out, and because B, you're always finding marriages to tear down every season. Right? But I think that one was personal for you, which is why you started saying things like he's a sneaky link and all that. Because everything you were saying is everything that described Jamal. It's everything that described your ex-husband. If you go back and watch the very first season when she described her marriage, that's everything she said about him. Is everything she was trying to say about Chris. So I wish, Giselle, that you came and got your healing heart session, because that trauma that you're trying to put on Chris and Candiace, that's not for them. That's your bullshit. That's your bullshit. And that's a shame that you did that to that man. That was a shame that you did that and said those things about that man, because that's your trauma and you imposed it on him, right? Like I said with Candiace, so basically she was just saying that she'll imply that my husband tried to essay you. They were saying, no, Candiace, she did not imply that. And Candiace was standing 10 toes the fuck down. And I like that. I like that Candiace was not backing down. But I'm not going to lie, Normally, I don't feel sorry for Candiace, but I'm not. This episode, I felt bad. And it made me look at her leaving the show as a good thing. And not because I want her going, because to be honest, I'm going to miss her. She does help elevate and push the show forward, right? But I think that in those moments on this reunion, I could see that she needed a break from him. I could see that her fire was dimming. Because normally, she yelling, she screaming, she curses, she has a barrage of nasty comments, and you know how she usually is. On this, she was more so like, you know what? You right. You got it. I'm good. And that led me to believe that Candiace felt defeated to a certain extent. And I that made me feel sad for her. That made me feel sad for her because she also was looking around saying things like, am I bugging? Y'all don't see this? So that let me know in those moments, she's kind of feeling defeated. And if you feeling that way, baby, you got to go where you celebrate it, not tolerate it. So Candiace, if taking a break is what's going to work for you, my dear, I want that for you. I also want you to come back. I also want you to come back because I also want you to know that there's lessons for you to learn within this group of ladies that you need to get just as a woman overall, and also you add very much value to the show, even though sometimes you get on my motherfucking nerves. All right, so that's what I felt about that, right? What happened after that? Hold on one second, let me check my fucking notes. All right, how can I stand ROBYN? So when Giselle and Candiace was going back and forth, she was saying that, you know, you claim that you didn't say anything else about me, but you was talking about me on your podcast, which ROBYN and Giselle shared a podcast together, Unreasonably Shady, which I've never watched ever because I don't have time for neither one of them. But basically on there, it was about the fake mistress that tried to put out the pictures of Chris and all this and all that. And from what I hear, because I didn't even follow up that story, because in my opinion, who the fuck would want Chris outside of Candiace? So I didn't even have time to follow up with that. But I heard that the lady said she made all of it up. Who knows? ROBYN was like, oh, I seen pictures of your husband's limp penis. My thing about ROBYN is when she kept saying to Candiace, so it wasn't true, I'm thinking in my mind, how the fuck would you know? How would you asking her, like, if she say it's not, you could prove that she's lying? How the fuck would you know? Was Candiace showing y'all dick pics of her man? And that wouldn't shock me because all she kept talking about was the big brown penis when she thought y'all was her homegirl. So maybe you do know how dick look. I don't know. ROBYN, you don't even care about dick. So what is, girl, get your, girl, move. Move. But what I love was that now Karen and ROBYN start getting into it. And you know, Karen ain't here for ROBYN. She is not here for ROBYN. So they was asking Karen about, you know, basically her saying that her tagline about her riding the fence and how she's being mutual and yada, yada, yada. And ROBYN and Giselle's whole point is like, no, you don't, Karen. You do not be mutual. You don't hold their feet to the fire. And Karen was like, that's not true. You're getting mad because I don't take your side. What you want me to do is take your side, and that's why you say I don't hold their feet to the fire. Yes, I do when they do things. I just don't also in conjunction with that, I don't jump on y'all bandwagon, which is what y'all used to people doing. I'm not doing that, right? So her and ROBYN started going back and forth, and Andy was saying once again, Karen and ROBYN, how can we get y'all to a better place? So Karen do not play with ROBYN, and I love that for her. So they was like, okay, so ROBYN, say 3 good things about Karen, which she did. She was like, Karen was witty, Karen's a good mom, Karen looks good for her age, right? Karen said all these backhanded comments when it came to ROBYN. She was like, yeah, you cool when you ain't a crybaby. Like, basically, she said something about the war was me. She just tore ROBYN up. Those are some very much backhanded comments. And ROBYN was like, you know, I don't do that, and you just never see my part, and you can't be unbiased, and neither can you. Neither can the fuck you. So how about the same loyalty that Karen is showing everybody else aside from you is the same loyalty that get on other motherfuckers' nerves that you showed Giselle. Aha, it ain't no fun when a rabbit got the gun. So I don't care. So that part for me, I was like, girl, shut up. ROBYN, I'm so happy you left because I really want to see how Giselle gonna shake out now that you're not there. So anyway, they gonna break. They gonna break because Andy was like, he wanted to get that done before they went on a 15-minute break. I'm sorry. I like Carlos King. I also really, really respect and admire the things that he says because he is the reality king and all of that. But I highly disagree with all the folks that feel like Mia is the future Real Housewives of Potomac. I feel like it's about to turn into Love and Hip Hop Potomac because this whole Mia storyline is so fucking whack. And I'm going to be honest with y'all, I don't believe one word of it. I don't believe one fucking sentence of it. I think Mia went around and gathered her troops the same way how she did with the friend that she bought there and picked on, and now coincidentally because her having beef with the friend Jacqueline didn't work out for her, so now all of a sudden they back friends. If that storyline would have carried me and everybody would have been tuned in and on her side about her having beef with Jacqueline, she would have kept the beef going. She saw that the fans was not here for that and didn't like the way she turned to her longtime friend, so then she got back her friend. I feel like Mia gathers Gordon, Ink, Jacqueline, the mother, and everybody else and tell them, listen, motherfuckers, you trying to get me first chair, so we got got to create some drama. I do not believe one part of Mia's story. I'm sorry, I do not believe it. Do I believe she know Ink? Yes. Do I believe she used to date Ink? Yes. I think Ink is conveniently back around for her storyline. I think all that's going on is for her storyline. But again, we'll see. I can't follow this. I can't follow. So it's just going to turn into that. I don't want to see it. But anywho, they went on a break, and conveniently, while the cameras are rolling, she calls Ink, or Ink calls her on FaceTime, and then Gordon is there. She's like, Gordon is here. Say hi to Gordon. And they give a nice, they exchange pleasantries, and all that shit was whack. All that shit was right. And like I said, I'm not here for Mia's package. I'm sorry. If that's what it's going to be about, I don't know if I'm going to tune in next season. Especially with Candiace being gone, Wendy and Anneka. Oh, God, if I have to hear another fucking African proverb, I'm going to lose my mind. So that was the Real Housewives of Potomac reunion episode 1. I'm keeping it in prayer. I'm keeping it in prayer because I have to see what's going to happen next season. I'm excited to see Kiana come out. I see when she comes out, they kind of put her, next to Mia a little bit up on the couch. So I appreciate that. Hopefully, they'll add her to the cast. And maybe she'll bumble with Ashley or something. Who knows? I would like to see that. But in any event, I enjoyed the first reunion. I want to see if Ike is going to be retarded right there on the reunion stage to Eddie. I want to see if Eddie is going to finally poke his chest out and let him know he's African too. I don't want to see... Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, so tune in. I enjoy watching it. I'm here for it, and we'll see what happens. Stay tuned, and I'm ready to roll. Thank you for tuning in. Like, share, comment, subscribe.